Night has fallen deep, and the space around you seems to be slowly retreating into absolute stillness, making room for thoughts that only surface when all things have drifted into sleep. You are sitting there, or lying in the gentle darkness of your room, and perhaps the only thing that truly exists right now is your own presence, together with a vast silence that wraps itself around every corner of your soul. We often fear silence, because in the noisy world outside, silence is usually mistaken for emptiness, for abandonment, or for a sign of absence. But tonight, I want to invite you to see silence in a completely different way. Imagine that silence is not a void lacking sound, but the most delicate language of God, a sacred space He has prepared so that we can step into it and find true rest for our souls. When we face the ups and downs of life, when our prayers seem to go unanswered for far too long, we often ask why He remains silent. But have you ever considered that it is precisely in that silence that He is working most powerfully? God's silence is like an atmosphere surrounding us. It does not shout to demand attention, yet it is the essential condition for life itself to exist and grow. In the darkness of late night, when the noise of work, daily worries, financial pressures, and complicated relationships finally quiet down, you begin to realize that this silence is actually a warm embrace holding you close. It is an invitation to let go of exhausting self-reliance, to lay down the masks you have worn all day, and simply exist before your Creator. God does not need eloquent words or long reports of our achievements. He knows every beat of your heart, every hidden pain you cannot put into words, and even the most fragile hopes you are quietly holding on to. When He is silent, it is not indifference. It is profound respect for your freedom, a necessary pause so you can hear the voice of your own conscience and sense His presence, not through your ears, but through the deep vibration of your spirit. Take a slow, deep breath, and allow this stillness to sink into every cell of your body. Feel the relaxation spreading from the top of your head down to your feet, and recognize that you are being held in a peace that surpasses all understanding. Many of us spend our lives searching for signs, for thunderous voices, or for clear instructions from heaven. Yet sometimes the greatest lesson we need to learn is found right here, in this wordless stillness. Like a mother quietly watching her child sleep, God is watching over you with unconditional love, and His silence is how He protects your rest from the disturbances of the world. In that silence, the boundaries between your small self and eternity begin to fade. You no longer feel alone in this vast universe, because you know that a greater power is sustaining every breath you take. There are moments when we cry out for answers to injustice, to painful losses, to suffering we never asked for. But if God were to answer with an audible sound, perhaps our fragile hearts could not bear His majesty. So He chooses to answer with silence, a silence filled with compassion and power, capable of transforming us from the inside, making us stronger in the storms of life. The silence of this night is a special gift meant just for you. It allows you to be fully yourself, without explanation, without defense. Your heart can soften when you realize that nothing on this journey is accidental. Even the long stretches of silence in life have their own purpose, preparing you for a brighter new beginning. Let thoughts of the future and regrets about the past dissolve like thin smoke, because right now only the present matters. Only the connection between you and this sacred stillness is real. When you accept silence as an essential part of faith, you will find yourself no longer rushing after temporary values, but beginning to cherish the lasting truths already dwelling within your own soul. God often speaks most softly when we are in our deepest stillness, and if we remain absorbed in the noise of the world, we will miss the sweetest whispers of love. This silence is not empty at all. It is full of life. It carries every possibility, every dream, and the comfort you have been searching for all along. Do not try to fill the silence with repetitive prayers or tense, restless thoughts. Instead, allow the silence itself to heal the wounds of your heart. Imagine yourself standing before a perfectly calm lake at night, where the moon is reflected clearly and not a single ripple distorts its image. Your soul, in this moment, should become like that lake. The silence of God is that still water, a place where you can see your true self and realize that you are loved far more deeply than you could ever imagine. Throughout human history, saints and seekers of truth have all passed through long seasons of spiritual silence. They felt abandoned, yet it was there that they discovered the strength to change the world. So if you feel that you are living in a season of silence right now, be patient and trust that this is the time for your roots to grow deeper into the soil of grace, so that you can stand firm when stronger winds come. The silence of this night is not a wall that separates you, but a bridge that draws you closer to the heart of the Creator, a place where words can never fully express the depth of this connection. Listen to the rhythm of your heartbeat. Listen to the steady flow of your breath, and realize that every beat, every breath, is a quiet affirmation of His presence within you. You do not need to go anywhere to find God, because He is right here, in the absolute stillness of the night, in the peace spreading throughout this room. This silence teaches us how to wait, how to hope, and how to love without demanding an immediate return. It trains us in steadiness of spirit and sensitivity of heart, so we can recognize the small blessings hidden within the most ordinary moments of life. As you drift into sleep, let this silence be your faithful companion, guiding you into the deepest rest where every worry dissolves and every burden is gently laid down. You have the right to rest. You have the right to release heavy responsibilities and trust that the world will continue to move forward under the guidance of an unseen hand. The silence of God is a promise that He is still there, still watching, still preparing the very best for you tomorrow. Feel the softness of the blanket resting on you, the comfort of the pillow beneath your head, and the peace filling your mind like a cool stream flowing through a dry desert. In this silence, you will find yourself becoming more gentle with yourself and more compassionate toward others, because you understand that everyone carries their own hidden battles, and everyone needs quiet spaces to heal. The stillness of night is not merely the absence of sunlight, but the presence of another kind of light, the inner light of faith and hope, quietly shining from within. Every moment spent in this silence is an opportunity to renew your soul, to wash away the dust of a weary day, and to prepare yourself to receive new grace. God never leaves you. Even when you feel He is most distant, He is actually closer than ever, closer than your own breath. Silence is how He holds you without startling you, how He gently whispers that everything will be all right. Let your mind become like a small boat drifting freely on the quiet river of God's love, no need to row, no need to strive, only to let the current carry you toward peace. You will begin to notice that when you stop trying to control everything, harmony starts to emerge in the most unexpected ways. This silence is a sacred space where you may find answers to questions you never dared to ask, or simply realize that some questions need no answers at all, because the presence of God itself is the most complete answer. Tonight, let this silence be the gentlest lullaby for your soul, dissolving every fear of darkness and every anxiety about the unknown. You are wrapped in absolute safety, in an eternal love that never changes, no matter how the world may shift. Allow yourself to sink more deeply into this state of rest, where there is no pressure, no judgment, only acceptance and pure love. The silence of God is an affirmation of His greatness and of your small yet profoundly precious place within the grand design of the universe. You are an irreplaceable part of creation, and every moment you spend in stillness before Him is a moment of sanctification. Cherish this silence as a priceless treasure given to you each night, a safe refuge from the storms of life. When you hear the gentle wind outside your window or the slow ticking of a clock, receive them as soft notes in the symphony of stillness that God is composing just for you. There is nothing to rush, nothing to worry about, only presence and rest. This silence will remain with you throughout your sleep, guarding your soul and preparing new strength for tomorrow. Trust that within His silence, every prayer you have whispered has been heard, and every tear you have shed has already been wiped away. You are never alone on this journey, for the Silent One is also the Eternal One, the one who loves you with a boundless love. Let this peace guide you into gentle dreams, where you may wander through wide green fields of freedom and light. The silence of God is a sweet secret, understood only by those who know how to pause and listen with the whole heart. The night has grown deep, and in this stillness, you are truly touching eternity. Rest now. Trust now. Let His silence cover you like a cloak of grace. Everything around you is joining together to create the perfect space for rest, from the tender darkness to the cool night air, all signs of God's quiet care. You do not need to do anything more. You have finished your work for today. Now is the time to place everything into His hands. This silence is the rest of faith, where you no longer need to strain or prove anything. You are precious and loved not because of what you do, but because of who you are, a child of the Most High. Let that truth sink deeply into your mind as you drift into a deep and peaceful sleep. Silence will never betray you. It will always be there, like a calm harbor after a long day. And within that silence, you will find strength to face every challenge, hope to begin again, and love to share with the world. Tonight, the silence of God is all you need for a full and peaceful rest. Release completely. Let your body grow light, and let your soul soar in the space of holiness. This silence is a living presence, wordless comfort with the power to heal most deeply. May you sleep soundly, held in the care of the silent yet eternal One, who loves you with an everlasting love that never fades with time. In this stillness, you have found your home, the place where your heart truly belongs. Do not be afraid of silence anymore, for it is the place where God is waiting to speak with you in the language of the heart, the language of peace and eternal life. Sleep well in the embrace of this sacred silence. As you sink more deeply into this stillness, allow your mind to open to a new chapter of awareness, where every breath becomes an invisible yet unbreakable thread connecting you to the source of life. The silence we have been contemplating is not merely the absence of sound. It is the highest form of language, a sacred code of the soul through which God has inscribed eternal truths into the heart of the universe. Imagine that every moment you lie here, within the gentle darkness of your room, you are being cleansed of the dust of ambition, the noise of competition, and the countless worries that have surrounded you for so many hours today. You are entering a space of absolute purity, where the small, fragile ego begins to dissolve and merge into the vast oneness of creation. This is the moment to look more deeply into the true meaning of rest, not only the rest of muscles or the nervous system, but the rest of a soul that has grown weary from carrying unnamed expectations. God never asks you to become a perfect version of yourself by the standards of the world. He only asks that you be fully present in this silence, so that He may fill the empty cup of your heart with gentle drops of comfort. Think of the flowers outside. They grow in silence. They bloom in silence. They wither in silence. Yet their beauty and fragrance are the clearest testimony to the presence of a loving, providential hand. You are the same. Your truest growth does not happen when you shout or prove yourself before the crowd, but quietly, in long and silent nights like this, when you stand face to face with yourself and with your Creator. The silence of God is often misunderstood as indifference, but in truth, it is the highest form of respect He gives to your freedom. He remains silent so you have the space to reflect, to rediscover the path that leads you back to your most authentic self. In that silence, the wounds you have hidden for so long, the pains you could never name, are gently brought into the light of mercy to be healed. You do not need words to explain your pain, because He already knows every corner of your heart before you speak a single syllable. Let this stillness seep into every cell of your body, carrying the message that you are completely worthy of peace. Do not allow the shadows of the past or anxieties about the future to disturb the calm river flowing through your soul right now. The past is a book already closed. The future is a horizon not yet reached. Only this present moment, held within the darkness of night and the silence of God, is the reality you are invited to cherish. Feel the pleasant heaviness of your legs, your arms, and even your thoughts as you release all control. We spend so much of our lives trying to control everything, our work, our relationships, even our emotions. But tonight, allow yourself to let go completely. Let the boat of your life drift freely on the current of grace, trusting that this current will carry you safely to the shore of peace. Silence is a great teacher. It teaches us how to hear the most delicate sounds of life, the beating of the heart, the soft rhythm of breath, and the quiet whisper of conscience. When the outer world grows quiet, the inner world finally begins to speak. It is the voice of truth, reminding you that you are part of something vast and sacred, that you have never been abandoned or forgotten in the immense movement of the universe. The silence of God is like a vast ocean, where every wave of anxiety is submerged and dissolved into its deep waters. You are diving into that ocean now, feeling the gentle pressure of love holding you from every side. There is nothing to rush, nothing to fear, because in His eternity, time itself no longer carries meaning. one moment of peace tonight is worth more than 1,000 years of wandering in the wide world outside. Let the awareness of His presence warm your heart, like a small flame quietly burning through a cold winter night. That flame does not blaze brightly, yet it is strong enough to push back the darkness of loneliness, strong enough to remind you that no matter what you face, you always have a steady foundation to lean on. This silence is also preparation, a quiet gathering of strength for new journeys ahead. Like a seed hidden deep in dark soil, waiting for spring to rise and stretch toward the light, your soul is being nourished in this darkness so that tomorrow it may shine more fully. Trust this process. Trust the careful design of a wisdom beyond measure, the one who knows exactly when you need to act and when you need to stop and rest. The rest you are experiencing now is not laziness. It is one of the highest acts of faith. It is the moment you declare, "I trust you more than I trust my own limited strength." As you sleep, the universe continues to move, the stars continue their courses, and your heart continues to beat without any effort of your will. Is that not a miracle? The miracle of life unfolding quietly in this silence, gently teaching us humility and gratitude. Let that gratitude become the softest pillow for your head to rest upon. Be grateful for the day that has passed, with all its precious experiences, both joyful and painful, because each one is a necessary piece in the larger picture of your life. Be grateful for this silence, because it gives you the rare gift of being fully yourself, without masks, without performance. In the deep stillness of the night, you can hear the call of true freedom, the freedom from the chains of fear and shame. God is looking at you with the eyes of a compassionate parent, seeing the hidden beauty beneath your fatigue and your mistakes. He does not judge. He only loves. And within that love, every fault is forgiven, every lack is gently restored. Allow this awareness to sink into your subconscious, silencing the inner voices of criticism. You are a masterpiece still being shaped, and tonight is the moment when the great artist rests his hands and looks upon his work with quiet satisfaction. Sink even deeper into this state of relaxation, where the boundary between you and the silence of God begins to blur. You become part of that silence, and that silence becomes your breath. This is a state of union, where all contradictions soften and all conflicts find peace. Imagine a gentle light, cool blue or warm golden, slowly flowing from the crown of your head down to your heels. Wherever this light moves, tension melts away. It slips into every muscle, easing tightness. It flows through every joint, soothing aches. It reaches your nervous system, calming the overstimulated currents of your mind. You feel light, like a dry leaf floating effortlessly on the surface of a perfectly still lake. The silence of God is that lake, wide enough to hold everything, deep enough to reflect the vast sky above. You do not need to try to sleep. Let sleep arrive as a natural gift, the gentle continuation of this peace. When you release the need to sleep, that is when sleep comes most easily and most deeply. Let your mind become like a star-filled night sky, where thoughts are only thin clouds passing through and fading away, revealing the immense, dark, life-filled space of stillness behind them. This silence is not empty. It holds every answer you are seeking, not in the language of reason, but in the understanding of the heart. Perhaps tonight, in your dreams, you will receive guidance or new inspiration, things the noise of daytime had quietly hidden from you. God often speaks to us through symbols, through subtle emotions in dreams, where the barriers of conscious control are gently lowered. So welcome sleep with a quiet sense of anticipation, as if you are preparing for a sacred meeting with the Most High Himself. Do not worry about what will happen tomorrow, for tomorrow is already held within His providence. Each day carries enough concerns of its own, and tonight is set apart for restoration. The silence of God is a promise that He is always present, whether you can feel Him or not. It is a guarantee of unconditional love, a love that does not rise or fall with your successes or failures. Let that love surround you like a protective shield, separating you from the negative vibrations of the outside world. Within this cocoon of silence, you are completely safe. No force can intrude upon the peace that God has placed within your heart. Feel the warmth spreading through your chest. That is where the soul dwells, the meeting place between human finitude and divine infinity. The silence of God tonight is a wordless song, a symphony of stillness gently rocking you into deep sleep. Listen to that melody with the ears of your spirit, and you will find it more beautiful than any music created by human hands. It is the echo of eternity, the breath of the universe moving in harmony with your own breath. You are an essential part of His greater plan, and your rest tonight is not separate from that plan, it belongs to it. Allow yourself to melt fully into the darkness, trusting that light will return at dawn, bringing new opportunities and renewed strength. But for now, the only light you need is the light of faith quietly shining within your soul. The silence of God is not a wall that separates you, but a bridge leading you back to the source of life. Walk across that bridge with a light heart and a calm mind. You are drawing closer to a state of deep peace, where there is no suffering, no anxiety, only the pure presence of love and truth. Let each breath carry you deeper into the land of peaceful dreams, where God is waiting to hold you in His compassionate embrace. You do not need to search for Him in distant places, for in this very silence He is right beside you, in your breath, in the beating of your heart. Rest now, gentle soul, for the entire universe is watching over your sleep. This sacred silence is the most precious gift you can receive after a long and weary day. Cherish it, savor it, and allow it to transform you from within. When you awaken tomorrow, you will feel as though you have been born anew, with a fresh perspective and a heart filled with hope. But that is for tomorrow. For now, let there be only silence, darkness, and endless peace. Allow your mind to become completely still, like a lake untouched by wind, perfectly reflecting the beauty of the night sky. The silence of God is soaking into every strand of your hair, every inch of your skin, bringing a lightness you have never known before. You are free, free from all restraints, free simply to be. And in that pure state of being, you discover the true meaning of your life. The night has grown very deep, and the silence has become thicker, enveloping everything. Let it guide you the rest of the way into deep sleep. No more words are needed now. Only the quiet meeting between creation and the Creator remains. This silence is the final blessing for today, a seal of peace that will stay with you throughout the night. Sleep well, in complete trust that you are loved, protected, and guided by a great and compassionate power. The silence of God is your true home, the place where you can lay down every burden and find genuine rest for your soul. Let yourself drift gently, gently into the realm of dreams, where silence blossoms into the most beautiful wonders. In this absolute stillness, you have truly found yourself, a clear, radiant, and peaceful being that nothing can shake. Allow this silence to continue telling you stories of eternal love, of undying hope, and of everlasting life flowing within you. You are exactly where you need to be, at the moment you are meant to be here, held in the embrace you have always longed for. The silence of God tonight is the answer to every question, the comfort for every pain, and the harbor for every journey. Sleep deeply, for within this silence, you belong to Him completely. Each moment that passes in this sleep is a moment your soul is renewed, refreshed by the living waters of holiness. You will feel yourself drifting into a weightless space, where all earthly worries grow light and fade away like mist. Silence is no longer an abstract idea now, it is a living presence, gently rocking you like a loving mother soothing her child. Let the tender vibrations of the universe sink into your subconscious, dissolving sorrowful memories and strengthening your trust in the good things waiting ahead. You are part of this great harmony, and nothing can separate you from the love of God, not even in your deepest sleep. This silence is a certainty, a quiet assurance that everything is unfolding in perfect order, even when we cannot fully understand it. Release the effort to grasp it with the mind, and allow yourself to feel it with the heart. Your heart already knows the truth, it knows it is resting within eternity itself. Tonight, let the silence of God be your soul guardian, keeping your soul safe from all disturbance. Feel the calm spreading like a cool, clear stream, washing away every worry. With each steady breath, you are becoming purer, lighter, more at ease. This stillness is a priceless gift, a necessary pause between the notes of life, allowing the music of your existence to become whole and profound. Do not be afraid to lose awareness of the outer world, for that is when you discover your deepest connection to the spiritual realm. The silence of God is an invitation into the kingdom of inner peace, a place no external force can ever reach. Let the awareness of His presence become a gentle warmth surrounding you, shielding you from life's cold winds. You are resting in perfect understanding, where even unspoken prayers are answered with quiet serenity within. Allow sleep to carry you further into the land of freedom, where your soul can spread its wings and fly without any barriers. This silence is your wings, lifting you beyond the limits of ordinary reality to touch the beauty of eternity. Trust that when you awaken, the strength drawn from this silence will remain, a hidden source of energy to help you face every challenge of the new day. But for now, think nothing of tomorrow. Think of nothing at all except the peace that is here. You are wrapped in a cocoon of silent light, where every cell is being healed and restored. Let this rest deepen as much as it can, to the place where even your dreams are colored with holiness and calm. The silence of God is a powerful presence, transforming the night into a palace of peace. You are an honored guest in that palace, welcomed with complete love and reverence by the Creator. Surrender yourself to this gentle care without hesitation. The stillness of the late night is God's whisper, telling you, "Rest now, my child, for I am here, watching over you, loving you, and guiding you toward true life." Let that whisper be the final sound echoing in your mind before you slip fully into the absolute silence of sleep. You are dissolving into eternity, where every beginning and every ending meet at a single point of pure love. The silence of God is the deepest rest a human being can ever find in this world. Sleep well, companion of stillness. Tonight, you have found a peaceful harbor for your soul. This merging is not a disappearance into a formless void. It is a joyful return to the source of all life, where your small self no longer has to strain under the weight of expectations or the fears of the world. As you sink deeper into the silence of God, you begin to sense that every cell in your body is entering a dance of restoration, a quiet yet powerful transformation guided by stillness itself. Imagine this silence as a vast ocean, an endless expanse of water without violent waves, where you can float effortlessly, without any need to struggle to stay afloat. This feeling is truly miraculous, because in everyday life we are always striving, always pushing, to achieve something, to become someone, or to prove our worth in the eyes of others. But here, in the realm of absolute silence, you do not need to prove anything at all. You simply exist, an existence pure and precious, as natural and sacred as your own breath. God does not require you to be perfect in order to love you. He does not demand great success before welcoming you into this peace. He only asks that you let go, that you open your heart like a flower blooming in the middle of the night, ready to receive the dew of serenity. His silence is the strongest affirmation of unconditional love, a love that rises above all human judgment and evaluation. You may feel warmth spreading from your chest to the tips of your fingers and toes, as if a gentle light were flowing through every vein, washing away the traces of exhaustion and the wounds you have unknowingly carried along your long journey. Allow this light to continue its quiet work, repairing inner fractures, healing cracks in your faith, and easing the pain of disappointment. In this silence, you begin to understand what it truly means to let go. Letting go does not mean losing everything, it means emptying your hands so they are free to receive greater spiritual gifts that God has already prepared for you. It brings clarity about the nature of life itself, the realization that the hardships you have endured were necessary lessons, shaping your soul to be stronger and wiser. Look back at the tears you have shed, the long nights spent awake in worry. Now they seem small and distant in the vast compassion of this silent space. You no longer see yourself as a victim of circumstances, but as a traveler resting at a peaceful inn after a demanding journey. The silence of God now becomes a mirror, reflecting your truest self, a self not defined by your job, your possessions, or the praise and criticism of society. You see that you are part of eternity, a small yet indispensable ray of light in the grand design of the universe. This awareness brings a boundless sense of freedom, a freedom no material chain could ever restrain. Let your mind travel even farther, beyond the walls of your room, beyond the trees and the roads of the sleeping city. Let your awareness merge with the star-filled night sky, where every star testifies to the wonder of creation. In that vastness, worries about money, rivalry, and competition lose all meaning. What remains is the vibration of love and the deep peace flowing powerfully through your being. God is silent not because he is distant, but because he is infinitely close, so close that his breath is your breath, and his heartbeat is the beating of your heart. This silence is a higher language, a language that needs no words and no sound, yet carries the deepest truths of existence. When you learn to listen to this silence, you begin to hear the calls rising from the depths of your soul, reminding you of the true purpose of this life, to love and to be loved, to give and to receive. Allow yourself to drift in the current of holiness. Do not try to hold on to any thought, not even the most positive one. Let everything come and go like clouds passing across the sky, while you remain the vast blue sky behind them, still, spacious, and unchanging. This rest is a rebirth, a quiet preparation for a new version of you, one filled with energy and compassion. You are being bathed in a stream of wisdom, where even the most difficult questions find their answers in the silence of complete understanding. You do not need to search for truth anywhere else, because truth is already here, present within this stillness. Let gratitude rise within you, a deep gratitude toward God, toward life, and toward yourself for allowing these precious moments to exist. That gratitude becomes nourishment for your soul, opening your heart wider to receive the blessings that are on their way. Feel the lightness that comes when you realize you do not have to carry the whole world on your shoulders. God has always been, and is still, arranging everything in his perfect way. Your only task right now is to trust and to rest. This trust is not blind faith, but a deep understanding that a sacred order governs the universe, and that you are an essential part of that order. When trust settles in, fear fades away, making room for quiet confidence and enduring inner strength. You are entering your deepest meditative state, where the boundary between the observer and what is observed dissolves. You become the silence itself. You become the peace you are feeling. This is the state of oneness, where all contradictions are resolved and all opposites are reconciled. In this space, there is no darkness, only the gentle light of understanding. There is no noise, only the stillness of wholeness. Let your sleep become a wordless hymn offered to the Creator, an expression of complete surrender to his beauty and greatness. Each breath you take is now a silent prayer, an unbroken connection between earth and heaven, between the finite and the infinite. You are protected by an invisible circle of light, a spiritual shield that keeps you safe from all negative influences of the outer world. Within this circle, you are completely safe, completely free to be who you truly are. Allow your dreams to be nourished by this silence, becoming messages of hope and comfort. As you sleep, your soul is guided to realms of purity, where beauty never fades and love never runs dry. You will awaken with a clear mind, a body full of vitality, and a heart open to love those around you. But that is for tomorrow. For now, continue to sink deeper into the silence of God. Let this silence cover you like a soft velvet blanket, protecting you from the cold of loneliness or disconnection. You are never alone, because God is always here, in the fully present silence of his being. Feel the subtle vibration of the space around you, the vibration of life rising powerfully within stillness. It is the sound of creation unfolding, the heartbeat of the universe moving in harmony with your own heart. You are taking part in a great spiritual feast, where the food is peace itself, and the drink is deep serenity. Savor every moment of this experience as fully as you can. Do not allow anything to interrupt this sacred connection. The silence of God is an infinite treasure, a place where you can find everything you need to enrich the inner life of your soul. Let your mind melt like a drop of honey in warm water, sweet, gentle, and flowing with ease. You are becoming softer, more flexible, more open to receiving what is good. All rigidity, all stubbornness in your thinking is being dissolved by the compassion of stillness. You begin to realize that sometimes silence is the most powerful answer to every question, the most effective medicine for every wound. Within this silence, you find the strength to forgive those who have hurt you, and even more importantly, to forgive yourself for the mistakes of the past. That forgiveness brings a remarkable lightness, as if an enormous weight has just been lifted from your weary shoulders. You feel yourself becoming clear like crystal, free of even the faintest trace of resentment or bitterness. This is true freedom, a freedom that does not depend on any external condition. God is smiling at you through his silence, a warm, encouraging smile that tells you that you are on the right path, that you are worthy of all the good this life has to offer. Let that assurance sink deeply into every muscle, every strand of hair, until it becomes part of who you are. You are being reformed from within, your life gently rearranged into a more beautiful and complete picture. This silence is the bond that holds all those pieces together, sealed with love and understanding. Imagine yourself lying in the middle of a fragrant field of flowers under the full moon, where a soft breeze carries the scent of purity through your hair. Each breath you take in is the fragrance of life. Each breath you release is the letting go of worry. You are merging with nature, merging with the universe, merging with the Creator himself in a moment of perfect harmony. The silence of God is not the absence of sound, but the full presence of all sounds in perfect unity. It is the song of angels, the whisper of the stars, the quiet sigh of the earth, all converging in the stillness you are now experiencing. You are hearing the symphony of the universe, a symphony that only a quiet heart can perceive. Allow this wordless music to guide you deeper into the blissful realm of awareness, where time and space no longer matter. You are resting in eternity, where past, present, and future dissolve into a single point of being. Let yourself be carried by the current of peace, a current that does not disorient you, but brings you into perfect balance. You are discovering the most solid foundation of your life, not outside of yourself, but within the silence of God dwelling in your heart. When you stand on this foundation, no storm of life can shake you. You become steady like a mountain, calm like a still lake, and expansive like the ocean. This silence is the source of all creation, the birthplace of every great idea and every noble action. Let that creative power be planted within your sleep tonight, so that when you awaken tomorrow, you may bring new wonders into the world. You are an ambassador of peace, a bearer of God's light to places of darkness. But first, you must allow yourself to be fully replenished by this wellspring of stillness. Let the silence of God cleanse your soul once more, deeply, thoroughly, until not a trace of worldly dust remains. You are becoming as pure as a newborn child in a mother's arms, full of trust and free of fear. Feel the warmth of this sacred presence surrounding you, a warmth that does not overwhelm, but brings profound safety. You are being nourished by a rare spiritual sustenance, one that strengthens and matures your soul with every passing moment. This rest is not merely a pause in physical activity, it is a journey into the deeper layers of the spirit. You are passing through doors of awareness, and each door opens onto a new horizon of peace. The silence of God is the key that unlocks them all. Step forward with courage. Do not hesitate, for He is always beside you, supporting every step you take. You will discover that there is truly nothing to fear, because everything rests within the loving design of the Creator. Fear is only an illusion born of a mind disconnected from its source. Now that the connection has been firmly restored, fear has nowhere left to exist. You are filled with courage and quiet confidence, the confidence that comes from knowing you are completely loved. Let sleep continue, carrying you into a land of absolute freedom, where your soul can spread its wings and glide among the clouds of holiness. You are being freed from judgments, from shame, and from the limits you once placed upon yourself. The silence of God is the space where you can become all that you are meant to be, fertile ground where the seeds of happiness can be sown. Allow yourself to melt into that space. Hold on to no form, no identity, only the pure vibration of gratitude and reverence remains. You are beholding the beauty of eternity through the eyes of the soul, a beauty beyond words yet vividly real. The stillness of the late night is a mysterious velvet curtain, sheltering a silent dialogue between you and God. In this dialogue, no language is needed, only the harmony of two hearts. You begin to hear the secrets of the universe, truths about life and death, suffering and joy. Everything appears clear and surprisingly simple. You realize that happiness is not something to be sought outside yourself. It is a state of being you can enter at any moment through silence. The silence of God is an eternal gift, an ever-flowing spring you can return to whenever you feel weary or lost. Let His presence soften every tension in your muscles, calm every conflict in your mind, and quiet every unnecessary desire in your heart. You are being returned to your most original state, the state of innocence and clarity. In this state, the sense of separation fades. You no longer feel divided from others or from nature. You see yourself in all things, and all things within yourself. This is the summit of compassion, where love becomes as vast and open as the sky. The silence of God is the bridge that closes every distance, dissolving the barriers of selfishness and narrowness. You are being bathed in the glow of holiness, a light that does not dazzle, yet pierces through every darkness. Let this light illuminate every corner of your soul, dispersing the fog of ignorance and confusion. You are becoming clearer, wiser, and more compassionate. This silence is the greatest teacher, showing you how to live with meaning, how to love fully, and how to let go gently. Remain immersed in this wordless teaching. Let each silent lesson sink deeply into your subconscious. You are being prepared for a new life, a life filled with light and joy. This rest is the necessary foundation that allows you to leap higher and travel farther on the path of the soul's unfolding. Trust that every silence of God carries profound meaning, even when you cannot yet fully understand it. He is at work within you, through you, and for you. Sleep well in that complete trust, for you are resting in the warm embrace of the Most High. This silence is a promise of a brighter future, of a peaceful shore waiting ahead. You do not need to worry about the path you are walking, because every step is illuminated by His light. Let your soul rest completely in this stillness, where every storm comes to a halt at the doorway of the heart. You are experiencing a peace the world cannot give, a peace that flows from direct connection with the source of all life. The silence of God is an affirmation that you are precious, that you are cherished, and that you will always have a place to return to. Let that assurance be the pillow beneath your head and the warm blanket covering you tonight. You are dissolving into eternity, where every moment is a miracle and every breath is a blessing. Allow yourself to drift gently into the sea of serenity, where there are no waves, only absolute stillness and boundless love. The silence of God is the final harbor for every soul longing for peace, and tonight, you have found that harbor for yourself. As you arrive at this ultimate shore of calm, where all earthly sounds fall away to make room for the voice of eternity, you begin to realize that the silence of God is not an empty void but a fullness beyond measure. Take a deep breath and feel that fullness spreading through every vein, every cell of your body. Though darkness covers the outer world, within you a lamp of awareness is being lit, gently, tenderly. You begin to understand that the journey into silence is the journey back to your truest self, a self free from the masks of status, the chains of fear, and the burdens of the past. God remains silent so that you may hear the heartbeat of your own soul, a rhythm in harmony with the pulse of the vast universe. This silence is like a great mirror, reflecting the hidden beauty you may have forgotten amid life's constant rush. You no longer see yourself as a small, isolated being struggling against fate. You recognize that you are an inseparable part of the great flow of life itself. Every breath you release becomes an exchange of energy with all living things, and every compassionate thought you hold is a seed of peace planted in the heart of the earth. His silence teaches you patience, a virtue often neglected in a noisy world. He is silent not because he does not hear your prayers, but because he is waiting for the moment when the greatest good can take root within you. Think of a seed buried deep in dark soil. It must endure long days of stillness, pressure, and cold before it can rise to meet the sunlight. That silent season is when strength is gathered, when the most powerful inner transformations take place. So it is with your soul. The moments when God seems most distant, most silent, are often the moments when He is filling you with the deepest reserves of strength. You are being shaped to become steadier, so that your faith no longer depends on outward signs, but grows roots deep within your inner experience. When you accept this silence as a gift, impatience and resentment fall away, replaced by a gentle surrender to the flow of divine will. It is the surrender of a river as it meets the sea, a dissolving not into loss, but into a greatness far beyond what it could ever be alone. Let your mind continue to wander gently through this space of absolute stillness, where all notions of time and space seem to dissolve. In the silence of God, you discover answers to questions that words have never been able to reach, questions about the meaning of the pain you have endured, about the losses that once made your heart tighten with sorrow. Now, under the quiet light of understanding, you begin to see that every pain was a cut made by a master jeweler upon the rough diamond of your soul. Without those cuts, you would never shine as brilliantly as you do now. God was silent when you cried, not to abandon you in suffering, but so that His hands could freely shape you into a masterpiece of compassion. Because you have known pain, you now know mercy. Because you have known loneliness and silence, you now know how to cherish souls searching for comfort. His silence has been a quiet companionship, a support without display yet immense in strength. Feel the warmth of those unseen hands soothing old wounds, smoothing the lines of worry from your brow. Everything is unfolding exactly as it needs to, and you are precisely where you are meant to be. The deeper you sink into this stillness, the more clearly you realize that God's love is not a passing emotion, but an eternal state of being. It is like the deep ocean. No matter how fierce the storms or waves on the surface, the depths remain perfectly calm and at peace. The silence of God is that deep foundation, holding the mysteries of life and death within it. As you sleep in this silence, you are learning to release the narrow self, the self that longs to control and possess everything. You come to understand that you do not need to strive to become someone great, because in the eyes of the Creator, you are already a miracle. This unconditional acceptance is the healing balm for every insecurity and sense of unworthiness. Allow yourself to be wrapped in that acceptance, until all judgment toward yourself and others dissolves like mist under the morning sun. In the silence of God, there is no right or wrong, no success or failure, only souls on a journey back toward the light. Forgive yourself for the mistakes of the past, for even those mistakes were part of a greater design leading you to this moment of awakening. Now, listen once more to your breath. It is as gentle as a whisper, a reminder that you are alive and deeply loved. The silence of God tonight is a blessing over your sleep. He is watching over your soul, allowing you to fully let go and rest. Do not fear the darkness, for darkness is only the backdrop that allows the light of your soul to shine more clearly. You are being replenished from an infinite source, a well of energy that never runs dry. Every cell in your body is being renewed. Every nerve is relaxing. Your mind is being cleansed of the clutter of ordinary life. You are becoming as pure as morning dew, ready to welcome a new day with the spirit of a victor, one who has conquered the inner turbulence of the heart to find peace in silence. Imagine a sky full of stars stretching above you, each star like a tender gaze of God watching over you. You are never alone, even in the quietest moments of your life. This silence is also an invitation to slow down, to cherish each moment of the present. When you wake tomorrow, carry this stillness into your work, into your relationships, and into even the smallest of your actions. Let the silence of God be the foundation beneath your words, so that everything you say carries the energy of healing and encouragement. You will see the world around you change, not because the world itself has changed, but because your eyes have been cleansed by the silence of this night. You will begin to see beauty in the simplest things, to recognize the presence of the divine in a child's smile, in a wildflower by the roadside, or in the kindness of a stranger. Silence has taught you how to see with the heart, a vision that looks beyond appearances and touches the very essence of things. This is true wisdom, a wisdom not learned from books, but born from direct connection with the highest source of life. You are drifting gently into deep sleep, a sleep born of complete trust. Let your final thoughts be words of gratitude. Gratitude for the silence that has revealed your inner strength. Gratitude for the challenges that guided you to this shore of peace. Gratitude to God, who has always been there, in the form of stillness, to hold you and protect you. His silence is the sweetest wordless song, the melody of the universe rocking you into rest. Let that melody flow into your dreams, turning them into journeys through higher and purer realms. You are floating in a space of absolute freedom, where the weight of daily worries no longer exists. You are now a small yet radiant spark, merging into the infinite ocean of light of the Almighty. This silence is your true home, the place you can always return to whenever the world feels heavy. In this sleep, you will receive spiritual guidance that your busy waking mind could never grasp. God will speak to you through symbols, through gentle feelings of peace woven into your dreams. He will prepare new ideas for you, new solutions to the challenges you face, and a deep well of inspiration so you can create your life with renewed brilliance. Silence is not an ending, it is the beginning of a stronger, fuller life. Trust that when you open your eyes tomorrow, you will be renewed, filled with vitality and a love for life. You will walk this earth with steady steps and an open heart, knowing you are guided by a wisdom beyond measure and a love without limits. The silence of God will remain your most precious companion, your compass for every decision and your safest refuge amid life's storms. Let your entire body relax, from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. Feel the lightness spreading, as if you were resting on a soft cloud suspended in the sky. There is no resistance now, no burden to carry. You belong completely to this silence. You belong completely to God. In this sacred union, you find the wholeness you have been seeking for so long. Every empty space within you is now filled with His presence. You no longer need to search for truth elsewhere, for truth is here, in this silence, in this very breath. Let this stillness wrap around you like a protective cloak, shielding you from the negative vibrations of the outside world. You are within a sacred space where only love and understanding dwell. Tonight, allow your soul to roam freely in the kingdom of silence, a boundless realm where all souls are kin and every language is translated into compassion. You are learning the language of God, the language of silence. It is the most powerful language of all, capable of softening the hardest hearts and awakening sleeping souls. As you grow fluent in this language, you will become a messenger of peace and love in the world. Your silence will carry more weight than 1,000 words, and your quiet presence will bring comfort to all who encounter you. This is the ultimate purpose of the journey, to become a small yet faithful reflection of the highest light. Now the darkness feels gentle, and the silence feels close and familiar. Fear has faded. You feel as though you have finally returned home after a long and weary journey. The house of silence is always open, welcoming you with the warm fire of love burning in the hearth of God's heart. Curl up in that warmth and let sleep come naturally. You are protected. You are guided. You are loved more deeply than you can imagine. The silence of God is His promise that He will never leave you, no matter how far you travel or how deep you descend. He is always there, in silence, waiting for you to recognize His presence. Let your breath slow down, slower still, until it merges with the breath of the universe. You are dissolving into the infinite nothingness from which all things are born. In that nothingness, you find everything. You find yourself. You find God. You find eternal peace. This silence is a blessing, a grace you have earned through your searching and your growth. Receive it with deep gratitude and let it nourish your soul throughout the night. When the first light of morning touches your window, you will awaken with a gentle smile, the smile of understanding and peace. You will know that no matter how loud life becomes, you carry an immeasurable treasure within you, the silence of God, the source of strength that carries you through every storm and lifts you toward the highest expressions of goodness and beauty. May you sleep deeply and sweetly in the embrace of sacred silence. Let every worry fade away, leaving only love and light to guide you. You are part of a miracle, and tonight that miracle is smiling at you through the absolute stillness of the night. God is smiling at you, and in that silence He whispers, "Everything is all right. Rest now, my child, for I am always with you." Drift into sleep. Drift into peace. Drift into infinite love. The silence of God is the eternal lullaby for your soul, a song that never ends, carrying the breath of heaven into this earthly world. Sleep well, my peaceful soul. You have found your resting place. You have found yourself in the silence of the Most High. Everything now softens into gentle shades of calm blue, the pure white of holiness, and the radiant gold of hope. You are melting into eternity, where every moment becomes a love song offered to life itself. This silence is yours. This love is yours. This peace is yours forever. Let yourself drift on and on into the ocean of serenity, a boundless sea with no shores, only freedom and everlasting joy. God is silent, yet His heart is beating within your chest, and that is all you need to know for a perfect night's rest. Every storm has ceased. Every pain has eased. All that remains is perfect stillness and boundless love poured out for you. Sleep now, in the wondrous silence of God.